I last spoke to her before before the news broke out that she was wanted with Thabo Bester.
In the form of recorded telephone calls. I'm posting this because 2 nights ago, a gunman tried and failed to kill me, my wife, and my child.
No, Nandipha's husband is living his normal life, raising his kids, doing his job as a doctor, and he deserves to be doing that, you know. And I don't know why people are so interested in where is he. We don't know the role he's playing in Nandipha's situation because Nandipha is the mother of his kids, so I wouldn't think that Nandipha's husband would throw her away, you know. I'm sure he's somewhere supporting her in a different sort of structure that people are not aware of and it's not in the public domain.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Within. My name is Hazel, and today I've got Oputi, Mr. Sekeleni, Nkosinathi.
Good to be here.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm not bad, thank you.
You're not too bad.
No, it's a rainy morning.
I know. It's so gloomy.
I know, but yeah.
Yes.
Uyasithatha isiXhosa? That's my first language.
Yeah.
And then the rest is Ngesi and the rest follow.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's the last one?
Yes.
Umama umntwana?
No, umama wam.
Umama wasekhaya wasendlini.
Oh. Yeah, I would say usuka kwelacala Northwest. Yes.
Oh, shine. But Nkosinathi, ngicela ukuthi uzazise ukuthi ungubani. Basically, please introduce yourself.
Well, my first name is Nkosinathi and my surname is Sekeleni. I grew up in a small fishing town called Port Edward in KZN. I got there when I was 8 years old, when we moved from the old so-called Transkei in the Eastern Cape, and straight after apartheid we moved to Port Edward. And yeah, I'm just an easygoing person.
Yeah.
Who I would regard myself as an artist.
Nice.
I'm in media. I've worked as a news camera operator / video journalist / DOP for the past 15 years for various media houses internationally and locally. Yeah, so it's if I wouldn't do that, I don't know what I would do.
Yes, because I'm in Kinga.
Yeah, that's all I know. You know.
Yeah. Yes. As a Xhosa gent, wakhula KwaMazulu. I can you Mazulu.
Mazulu.
KwaZulu. Yeah. How was your childhood? How would you describe ukukhula kwakho?
Well, it's just in geographical terms, we would say Port Edward is in KwaZulu. Literally, 90% of the black people that live there come from where we come from, all over the Eastern Cape. And so there's more Xhosa speaking people than Zulu speaking people. And for instance, you can literally walk across the river to the Eastern Cape.
Gotcha.
Even when we grew up, when we fishing, we would actually cross over to get to fish on the other side of the river in the Eastern Cape. And before the tide is up, we'd go back to KZN. It's like literally not far at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like in terms of Abazali bakho, would you say you were on the lower, middle, or high end of the scale? Basically, did you grow up poor? Were you in middle class, or were you guys on the upper level?
Yeah, no, we grew up relatively, I would say middle class.
Okay.
Because when my parents moved from the Transkei to Port Edward, they were, if not the first people, black people, to actually buy a house there, which is close to the ocean, which was like quite sort of impossible during the apartheid times. So when the apartheid ended, and they could afford a better life for us, because we were coming straight from the rural area into a mixed race suburban area, which was predominantly just white people. So we one of those kids who were one of the first kids to be at the local Model C schools there. So we used to get bullied a lot, if you can imagine. We used to get bullied a lot, and it was the whole slow transition of the various races that live in South Africa. So, and my parents were educators. So I would say, you know, we never slept hungry. We went to good schools, and we had fun during holidays. And yeah, so it was a nice life, I would say, for that time, you know.
Yeah. Did your parents work in education until they retired? Are they both retired now? What are your parents up to?
Yeah, no, my parents are both retired. So they were teachers most of their careers. And then, you know, in the education system, well, during their era as well, the more you empower yourself to educate, through studying, the more opportunities occur. And you get your, what you call it, other higher jobs within the education space. So they both retired as education specialists. My mother had to take an early retirement because of health. So she retired she's been retired for a while now. Yeah. And my dad, which is probably, it hasn't been even 10 years. He's been really, yes, they live by the ocean. They've got a nice breeze. They can literally walk to the beach, and life is just, you know, good for them that side. It's a nice, calm life.
Yeah. You know, Emmy, like in families, if usually the mom and dad are in medicine, the kids, you'll find your dentists, your surgeons. How did you end up in media coming from a family of educators?
Yeah, because it's my other sister is also in media, and my younger sister Nandipha was a doctor, and my brother was in IT and now he's in farming. I think our parents always gave us the freedom of choice, and you always, I mean, from school, from the subjects, they would advise you, you know, try this or that if you like it, and they would see. I mean, you see your kids. I'm a father right now. I know what my kid is good at and what he doesn't like, and I think my parents always sort of guided us through to what we want to do and what we love, you know. And funny enough, I started. I was a drama student in high school. I wasn't. I won't call myself. I won't say I wasn't a bright spark. I mean, I am smart.
Just not the brightest.
In high school, you're a history student, geography, travel and tourism, and speech and drama.
Sure.
So right through to matric, I did those, and actually got a B for speech and drama.
Yeah.
So I enrolled at TUT in Tswana after high school, and did a course there, an acting course. Then I thought, acting is not really for me, you know, reading lines and no. So then again, my father showed me a nice course at Durban University of Technology. video technology. So it's got video production, TV production, scripting, script writing, production management, apps and developments. So it really just teaches you the whole TV thing, and you choose yourself. Do I like editing? Do I like camera? And I liked camera, so yeah, I studied that. So after that, I got a job at one of the local TV stations, business television. And yeah, the rest is history. And it got me so far. So, because I like, as I told you, I did travel and tourism as well when I was in high school. So the TV job provided me with a sense of freedom. I wasn't always in one place, always in one country. I got to travel around Africa, which I love, and the rest of the world. So it was a good choice for me. Like I say, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Clock it, yeah.
So yeah, it's given me a nice, adventurous life. Being at places where you're shocked when you're there. Like, is this me? Like, I'm in Brazil in the favelas exploring. Like, so that's not everyone gets to experience all those things. Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned your siblings. So you said what? You've got a brother and two sisters.
Yes.
Are you the oldest of the siblings?
No, my sister is the oldest.
And you are the second child?
Second, yeah.
And then it's your brother?
No, then it's my sister, Nandipha.
And then it's your brother?
Yes.
How's the relationship amongst the four of you guys now?
Now?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's different. I mean, it's normal that we don't speak for a while, and when something comes up, we have to communicate as a family and everything. So I would say our relationships are still the normal relationships that we have. Yeah.
Even with your parents?
Even with my parents, I call my parents almost every day. They call me and we talk about the way forward, and if there's a problem here and there, how can we sort out that problem? And we're just a team that we've always been as a tight-knit family.
Yeah. Even with you, like, having this interview with me now, even after the post that you posted, nothing has actually changed.
Well, I mean, as I think in any family, there will be quarrels here and there, but we're the type of family that always fixes whatever is wrong amongst us.
Yeah. You are the brother of the notorious Nandipha Magudumana. How would you describe your sister for somebody who's never been in her presence? Yeah.
Well, my sister is a very loving person. She really loves people and doesn't really like another person suffering. Nandipha is very she loves taking care of herself. And she's a person who loved also sharing with others when we were growing up. And a very bright person, but I think as well it can be quite naive at other things that don't fall into a way of life, like academically or professionally, out of there, she can be naive at things and take other stuff for granted, but basically not street smart, if I can put it like that.
Book smart.
She's book smart,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's that type of a person.
When last did you speak to your sister?
I last spoke to her before the news broke out that she was wanted with Thabo Bester. Yeah, it was a casual. No, yes, I think I had signed a freelance contract with one of the local broadcasters. And so I was telling her, hey, I'm back in the game, blah, blah, blah. And she was very happy for me. So, yeah, and the news broke and the contract had to be, destroyed because at the time, no one knew where I stood and, yeah. But I'm not crying over that though, yeah.
So you lost your job due to...
I lost the job that I never even got to start doing, But it's okay, yeah.
Would you say that you have a relationship with your sister at the moment?
At the moment, no, because at the moment, with the upcoming trial and pre-trial, it's mostly lawyers that are dealing with her. And my older sister, as well, is in contact with her. She visits her and stuff. And I just want the whole to give it space, and give her space, and because she's facing
a lot,
So I don't want to be also, being selfish in that sense. That what about me and you, our relationship?
Where are we now?
Now? And time will tell.
Yeah. You said, time to name and shame. Don't be fooled by her looks and charm. Very evil, this girl. Dr Nandipha Sekeleni Magudumana. She's in daily contact with this monster by the name of Thabo Bester, once dubbed the Facebook rapist. Doing a life sentence in Grootvlei, she even exposes her 2 little daughters to this monster. In the outside world, he goes by the name TK Guana. He was the sponsor of the event called the Doctors Network, and he has been laundering money through the business Optimum Medical Aesthetics. She has really dug herself into a hole. For a married woman, having an affair with such a low life as this, she is a shame to the Sekeleni family with this country fighting GBV and corruption. We still have monsters like this operating on the outside while in prison. I have evidence in the form of recorded telephone calls. I'm posting this because 2 nights ago, a gunman tried and failed to kill me, my wife, and my child. What was happening here?
Oh, that's the time, because after COVID, I literally lost everything. So during the renovations at the Hyde Park Mansion.
How did you lose everything?
Because if you remember, I was a freelancer.
Sure.
Being a freelancer, at the time I was working for China, for Chinese television. And if you remember, China was hit first.
Sure.
So China got hit, and as freelancers, no work, no pay. And that was the people I was focusing on. It was sort of like a permanent contract type of thing, and you sort of lose your other contacts and whatnot. So, financially things were not popping, and so my dad advised Nandipha and us that, since you're renovating the Hyde Park Mansion, how about Unati goes there and lives there with his family, and there's a cottage that was the last to be renovated. And I would sort of oversee as well the operations and whatnot. And it was a done deal. Moved that side to Hyde Park. And I lived there for about 3 months. So what happened is the so-called TK, which I knew him as TK. I didn't know any person called Thabo Bester, who was Nandipha's mentor and later on business partner. So TK says, Nandipha says, hey guys, I think TK has found out that you guys live here. You should vacate the premises and stuff. And I would already been getting gigs and I was coming back up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like the 17th of May. It's
Where
cold,
am I
dude.
supposed
It's
to
at
go?
night. Where am I supposed to give me
Yeah.
until the end of the month?
Sure.
And no, this TK dude is not is not hearing it. So during that whole commotion, I'm also emotional and stuff. And you know, it's my own blood kicking me out. What must I do? And you know, and I wrote that post, you know, because I had found out, I think that post was on the 21st of May, and I had found out about the TK Guana not being, Thabo Bester not being TK Nkwana. And boom, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how we're playing it now, you know, let's tit for tat, you know, that's the type of mentality I had at the time. So I wrote that post, and at the time, my lawyer, who had taken me in at the time for a while until I sort myself out, you know, probably end of the month or something when my gigs start paying. And yeah, I stayed with my lawyer, and my lawyer saw it on Facebook. And he's like, dude, take that shit
But you
down.
know the power of screenshots.
I think I took it down 30 minutes
Too
later.
late. Too late.
Too late. I remember the comments. They were like, dude, you should start looking for a lawyer. So you can...
Are you arrested yet?
Yeah,
Are you in jail?
Yeah. I'm telling you. And yeah, it was a whole big commotion, and now me asking for forgiveness, and Nandipha wouldn't budge at the time because of this monster whispering in her ear that he wanted me inside. And I don't know, maybe he wanted me inside so that I can be at my weakest point and take me out the game. But so at the mention, the gunman thing is, my wife and child did leave, went to a friend, so I stayed over. I was still stubborn and stuff. So I heard footsteps during the night. But the next door neighbors the lady who was aware of what's happening, contacted my wife and said, hey, I hear footsteps and I see people with lights around the yard. Are you guys safe? And then my wife alerted me, and I called a friend and my auntie, and they called the police, and the Bramley police came and actually did a sweep. But I think what scared them is the lady next door who switched on like the lights, which were like floodlights, so that spooked them, and they ran away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo. There is an alleged post that says that you wanted 100,000 from your sister for your silence. Did you write that post over and above the fact that she wanted to kick you out? Did you write that post because you didn't get the money?
Did I write the post because I didn't get the money? No. It wasn't. The post wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the money because I realized that whatever happened, it wasn't about the money. You know what I mean? The money wasn't an issue in the first place. That was, like I said, it's well known that I did say I was intoxicated. The thing went to the court of law, and we settled it with my sister. And yeah, it's got nothing to do with money. The post that I posted afterwards, it's yeah.
Would we be here though if you had received that 100,000?
If I received the 100,000, like I'm telling you, like I never meant for that 100,000 to call for that 100,000, and I think I was at a vulnerable point in my life, in a situation, and I let emotions get over my judgment and my character, because I'm a person who's worked all my adult life. I've never asked for handouts and all of that. And maybe at the time I felt like maybe it's payback or something for disrupting my life. You know, it was like a roller coaster. I was very emotional that time. And at that time I would have said or done anything stupid and then later regretted.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. As I mean, you are Nandipha's brother. You're living there, you've got a young child, you've got a wife. We know why you are there. You know, why do you think that upon finding out TK Guana had a problem with you being there? Why do you think he didn't want you at the cottage?
It's clear that TK Thabo has always been dodgy. So me being in the media space and having a lot of connections around with investigative journalists and everyone around in the country, he felt threatened. He felt threatened because as well, he hadn't lived up to his, what can I say, business promises regarding me, you know, in the sense that I think most people are aware that I thought he's a businessman living in New York. And he approached me at one time while he was TK Guana, approached me saying, how would I like to work on a certain platform within the media space in South Africa and literally get big bucks. You know what I mean? Then there I was preparing for the so-called interviews that are going to take place and whatnot. And nothing ever came out of those things, you know? And I was sort of like, I really don't trust this dude, you know? And what he speaks about is sort of out of this world, and you can see and feel that it's exaggerated. There's nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's, it's almost impossible. And going back to your question, I think he felt threatened that if once I know who he is, shit is gonna hit the fan.
Got you.
know? Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
This Hyde Park mansion, did Nandipha move out of her marital home to go stay there, or is that the house that Nandipha shared with her husband and the kids?
No, that house was sort of a project for the Aram business. She never really moved there until I don't know when, but at the time we were there, she never lived there.
So the house was not occupied, it was just...
No, it was just me and my little family. We were on the cottage and there were renovations taking place in the main house. Yeah.
Was that a house that she was planning to stay in with Thabo, or they were gonna renovate and sell?
I think at first she was gonna renovate and sell because she was in that business. Other than that, I wouldn't be sure if she was planning to stay with.
Yeah. Where was your sister staying?
At the time.
Yeah.
At her home, at her family home.
That she...
With her husband.
With her husband.
Yeah. I wouldn't really say the location, but in one of the suburbs.
Yeah. Mr. Magudumana is nowhere to be found in this whole thing. And the main question is, where is Nandipha's husband? Do you know where is Nandipha's husband?
No, Nandipha's husband is living his normal life, raising his kids, doing his job as a doctor. And he deserves to be doing that, you know? And I don't know why people are so interested in where is he. We don't know the role he's playing in Nandipha's situation because, Nandipha is the mother of his kids. So I wouldn't think that Nandipha's husband would throw her away, you know. I'm sure he's somewhere supporting her in a different sort of structure that people are not aware of and it's not in the public domain. You know what I mean? And I try as well not to really get involved in their relationship. As I said, that I'm actually giving Nandipha that space to sort out her issues, you know. So yeah, and I don't think it's my place to know as well what her husband is up to, or is it still in contact with her or not. I don't think that's my space. Yeah.
But at this point, we can say that the kids are with him and they are still married.
Yes, I would say that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of any divorce, so I'd assume that they're still married as far as I know. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. How or when did you meet Thabo? I don't even know who to refer him as. Okay, when did you meet TK Guana? Because that's the character you were first introduced to.
Yeah.
When did you meet him?
Physically?
Yes, in the flesh.
I've never met him in the flesh.
Okay.
No, I've never met him, and maybe thank God I've never met him. I only know TK Nkwana on what you call these things?
On the screens.
Video calls and the voice. I know, because I mean, I dealt with him. We did things.
So you were communicating electronically?
Yes.
Yeah.
I played a part in the media space, in the Doctors Network functions that Nandipha used to hold. And TK Guana was speaking to me. Hey, get this person, get an editor, get a cameraman, get a, whatever. So, and it felt like it's someone you've met before. That's how the relationship sort of advanced to. It felt like I know this person, even though I've never ever met him. Yeah. Never seen him in the flesh.
Yeah. How would you describe his personality, his character, his energy even?
He's a person that loves material things. He's very fascinated about material things, and he'd go on, hey, I've got this watch somewhere, it costs this money, I once bought a Bentley, blah, blah. He's the type of person who likes bragging about material things, and I'm not really there. And he's a sort of a pushover type of individual. Yeah, he can get to you, and he can get to you into the sense that you feel like he's sort of he wants to feel like sort of a boss type of person and boss people around, and very smart guy, very, very intelligent. Don't get me wrong, he's not stupid, very smart. And I think if we would have used that smartness in something
in the right
else,
way, ne?
Maybe, just maybe,
he would have been a real billionaire.
Tim Motsepe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's intelligence that landed in the wrong space, in the wrong head,
Or the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did your sister say she met TK Guana, and how did she say she met him?
I won't have a specific time of when she met him, but he was sort of a person that's just out of nowhere. He was there. There's this TK, and he's making moves. There's business. There's you can see there's money flowing, and and anything regarding whatever business we're helping out in Nandipha's business, talk to TK. Then you start wondering, who's TK? And no, that's just my mentor and now a business partner and whatnot. So, okay, cool, Yeah, he was that type of, it's that type of a situation regarding meeting Nandipha, introducing him. There was no formal introduction. You know what I'm saying? For instance, probably the first time I ever spoke to him was when my sister said, hey, dude, since you're struggling a bit with your freelance, TK can hook you up and you can, earn some really nice bucks, and mentioning big names around the industry in South Africa. Then when you start doing the follow-up, no ways, no, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, or when TK writes you something, I wouldn't know. I mean, whatever it would be that time, or, you know, there's no grammar, no full, it's like, then you're like, no ways.
Your red flags were like...
There's no ways you have media mogul and you writing like that, you know? No ways.
But then again, you are sort of your sister's word. You're holding on to your sister's word.
Yeah.
She's giving him credibility.
Well, yeah, he's good for it. He's genuine, you know?
But the alarms were really popping off.
No, man, I'm not a kid.
The Mets was not Metsy.
Yeah, I think I've been around a bit.
Yeah.
And funny enough, they're talking about MySpace, the media space.
Exactly.
And I'm the last person to be talking crap, you know? Yeah.
You know, a big question online is, how does a medical doctor, a wife, a mother, sister, daughter end up entangled with a convicted rapist and murderer? That's a very big question.
No, my theory, or what I believe in, is it's not an overnight thing. It's a matter of different events and situations that leads anyone to being captured. So I think this guy used everything that was around him and Nandipha to capture her. Because I still believe Nandipha at some point believed that this guy really didn't do what the courts
said he did.
You know, he didn't rape or kill that chick in Cape Town. You know, so if as an individual you would believe me when I say I didn't do it, I'm just being framed, you know. And then if you believe me saying that, I've got you. I'm in your head. I'm gonna try and manipulate and twist, you know, and get you to do whatever I tell you to do. You know, you sort of become like my lapdog. You know, that's my theory. Because I mean, Nandipha is intelligent. She's a doctor, a qualified medical doctor. She can cut people up and put them back together. You know what I mean? And so for her to be captured like that, it must have taken whoever was capturing her some real mental power and strength, you know? Yeah.
Do you think money also played a role?
I mean, I don't know. Money, Nandipha's always had money, man. You know? She's always had money. She always had nice holidays. She always drove nice cars before there was ever a TK Guana.
So those Porsches and the big cars, were they coming from her, or they started to come when he came into the picture?
I think the Porsches came when he was in the picture, honestly, you know. But even back before then, Nandipha drove nice cars with her husband, living together. So for me, I would think if you have lived that nice, big car, big house life, nothing should fascinate you. You're used to it. You know what I mean? So maybe I would say it's even greater than material things, and you know, it's psychological.
Ibuya futhi ukuthi, where was Magudumana? I think that then becomes the main question, but I think he's probably the one person who can answer that question.
Yes.
For his wife to be captured by Thabo Bester to do these things that she did, the prison visits, the bodies, and, you know, where was
like you
Magudumana?
Like you say, I think the good doctor, he's the only person who can really answer that.
Is Nandipha the bad doctor?
No, no, she's a good doctor. She's a good doctor. Yeah, and another thing that South Africa must understand is that you are innocent until you're proven guilty, people. You know what I mean? I mean, Nandipha is being called this and that, and she still needs to be given a fair trial like any other citizen in this country. You know what I mean? So, in my books, she's still a good doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that your sister, she's a, I don't want to say victim, but okay. Do you think your sister is a criminal?
No.
Or she's just somebody who found herself in a bad
Yeah,
situation?
no, my sister's not a criminal. She doesn't have it in her bone to be a criminal. She's the person who wouldn't steal even, you know, a sweet growing up. Well, people do change, you know. But I think, like you say, she's a person who just found herself surrounded by this criminal element, if I may put it, and just got entangled in the situation and probably didn't realize it until it was a bit too late. Yeah. But I don't think Nandipha, I still maintain to say that I don't think she's a criminal. Yeah.
And what do you think would be a fair, what is it? What do you think would be a fair punishment or judgment for her? Should she go to jail?
I
Should
think
she...
that's up to the courts, really. It's not up to me, and I respect the South African law and the courts of South Africa. But I think it should really be, because I believe Nandipha is being given, she's on trial by society and the media before she goes on actual trial. You know, I think there should be a thorough process in whatever happens, and let's not judge before the courts judge her. You know, and I believe in the South African justice system, and I will accept whatever outcome is. You know, but that's my sister. I hope she comes out and, you know, maybe serves her time outside if needs be, as a brother. I can't say otherwise. Yeah.
Are you still in hiding?
No, I'm not in hiding. I'm not in hiding. No, I got out of hiding long time ago. No, I'm not in hiding, and I'm working, and I'm a free spirit, and I wasn't hiding because I didn't know where Bester was. That's why I wasn't hiding. But after I knew where Bester was, it's, you know, he was back where he belongs, caged up, and yeah, and let me live my life, really. Yeah.
So, would you say that you were? I'm using the word scared loosely, but right, you would be more scared of, not more scared. I'm really trying to use my words wisely, okay? But you were more concerned of Thabo than Nandipha. For example, when somebody tried to, when there was a hit on you, do you think your sister did that, or it was Thabo?
No, it was Thabo, definitely Thabo. Nandipha would never want me dead. It was Thabo Bester who wanted me dead. And Nandipha, I actually wanted Thabo Bester to get locked up, you know. But it so unfortunately happens that Nandipha was a casualty in all this thing. I don't know. Maybe I would have shut up if I knew that Nandipha is in a basement somewhere that I know. I would have shut up and convinced her to hand herself in or something. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't really literally supply every little information I know. I'm not spiteful. I'm not a spiteful brother. But whom I hate is Thabo Bester. The people he killed, their family deserve to know that he's incarcerated. He can't be roaming around freely where he killed that girl, you know? And my focus has always been Thabo Bester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your father was also implicated in this case. Is he still under investigation, or what's happening with your father?
Well, as the country knows, he's still going through to the Bloemfontein court. And it's the law is taking its course, and he's being a law-abiding citizen and attending court.
But how is he? Unjani?
No, my father is in good spirits. He's healthy.
Yeah.
He's taking care of my mother. They're taking care of each other, and he's living the small town, slow life, and which is good for him at his age. But the real concern, like any other parents, is my sister. And I understand how, if one of my children would be incarcerated, it would devastate me. It would almost kill me. You know what I mean? So, like any other parent, they're worried about their daughter, as they should be worried, yeah.
Yeah. Is Optimum Aesthetic still operating?
No, I don't think it's operating, because I mean the engine of that whole business was my sister. So without her, there can't be any Optimum. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that your sister will be able, given that she doesn't go to jail, even if she does and she serves maybe 10, 20, 5 suspended, whatever the case may be, do you think that she will be able to go back into society and function and pick up basically the pieces since they were arrested?
Most definitely. I think she'd be able to be part of our society again, because I mean, like you say, whatever she gets, you know, I still believe that it's in South Africa we call it correcting the behavior or whatever. That's why it's called as a correctional facility. You know, it's not like a dungeon where you tortured or anything like that. And I think our government or society is doing the right thing by looking at it that way and actually labeling it correctional facilities, and also to make the people that are in there feel a sense of, you know, that they can come back and be part of our society again. It's not the end of the world, you know. People do things and people do change, you know. Yeah.
Given her actions, though, stealing bodies, fake burials, lying to the courts, stepping outside of her marriage, aiding and abetting a criminal, do you think that we can trust Nandipha Magudumana?
Like I say, the Nandipha situation should be, the officials and the law should really look into it and not really just judge her in any fast manner to get it over with and stuff. I think it's deeper than that, you know. It's psychological. She should be assessed, you know what I mean? And she should be given a chance where she should be given a chance, because it's you know, I won't say she stole the bodies. She didn't steal the bodies. All that stuff is still going through to court, and there's many things as well that I feel have been exaggerated, especially by media. For instance, the story of a garden worker and a maid, a domestic
They disappeared. The domestic worker did not leave that property.
That is bullshit.
Where is the auntie? Oh,
There was no auntie. You know, let those families come forward and say, hey, who auntie is missing since Hyde Park? No one has come forward.
Asimbonanga.
So did I shame man you know, it's no, you're exaggerating, you know. the investigators, they haven't come forward and say, now we're digging up Hyde Park. Here's a body, here's a bone, here's a whatnot. No, it just disappeared. Like many other things are spoken of in the media and they simply disappear. Another one is when the Minister of Police said that she claimed her father, which is my father, and her brother, which is me. I was so scared that I'm dead, you know what I mean? And no government person or investigator came back to me and told me, hey, dude, you're still alive, you know? I was literally a dead man walking. And it frustrated me, you know? And I did an investigation, and no one in the government space could tell me or get back to me. I had to call journalists, and journalists dug out information from Home Affairs, and one morning I get a WhatsApp, hey Nati, no dude, you're still alive. And I'm like, thank you. You know, those type of things, you know. It's things that are said and there's never a follow-up on them and they just left like that. And then for her, that sticks, you know what I mean? And it just adds up unnecessarily, if I may put it like that, yeah.
How has your life been since this whole ordeal, and how are you moving forward?
No, I'm moving forward. My kids are at school. I'm working. I'm stable in life, and I'm literally just a happy soul with, you know, what's happening in my life. But I won't lie, having my sister being in there really still affects me. I think psychologically, it really does. Like, if I'd be like, it's whoever family member's birthday at the time, we're having a nice time, it always comes back, and you sort of have that guilty conscience that, oh man, you know, someone is missing here, you know, and it's just not a nice feeling. Or when I go sleep in my comfortable bed, it happens to me all the time when I sleep or wake up. It actually always comes to my mind that I wonder what kind of an environment is she in at the moment, or how's she doing, or if you're eating something nice, you feel guilty by eating that, you know. And I think it's just a sixth sense type of thing, you know. Yeah.
And there were reports that came out recently about her being assaulted by inmates.
Yes.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it was really disturbing, to the extent that as the rest of the family, we normally talk about things and situations and regarding her. But now I didn't even have it in me to call my little brother or sister or my parents to ask, to talk about it and see. Because it was just like, I don't even want to hear their voices regarding the situation. You know what I mean? It's that painful when I heard that. And but then I did hear follow-up that the lawyers were following it up, and it sort of brought a bit of, you know, calmness. But still, it's
a sore point.
Yeah. And I think it's something that really should be looked into. For I didn't understand that there was also a person who was unstable and that was violent. So I think in that facilities they should take more precautions regarding situations like that. Yeah.
God forbid, but Nati, if today was the last time that you could say something to your sister, what would you say to her?
No, I'd tell her that I'll always be there for her. If she ever needs me, I'll always be there for her. And we haven't forsaken her. She's still a part of us, and we are her. You know, whatever she's going through, we're going through it. So she's not alone. Spiritually and emotionally, we are there with her, and she must just hang tight and one day there'll be a light in this darkness. Yeah.
Enkosi bhuti.
Yeah.
Ndiyabulela.
Yeah. No problem.
Thank you so much.
All right.